Oh, all right. Uh, let's get into the Big Push Englishman in New York. I assume this is the right one. Okay, we're at a good spot. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Sorry, I know. Stopping. Speaking of pausing, I was nervous, and I'm still nervous on my first one in on this one, but I'm going to try maybe to pause when I can and interject if or comment if I'm not too nervous. So I appreciate everyone being here. Here we go. Ooh. Wait, does it say get naked?
I don't take coffee, I take tea, my dear. Tea, my dear. I'd like my toast done up one side. On one side. You could hear it in my accent when I talk. I'm an Englishman in New York. See me walking down Fifth Avenue. Walking K by my side. I take it with me everywhere that I walk. I'm an Englishman in New York. Whoa, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
So real quick, I love the sound of this. I love that he's got the and I can't remember their names. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible with names. The one playing guitar, and that he's doing the main rhythm, yet you have Ren doing the backup or the additional notes on the Telecaster. The other thing that I noticed that he just did is he went into using a distortion pedal on when he came into the chorus, I believe. Although I don't see one, but he may have hit one that was out of. Hang on. He may have hit one that was out of scene, or somebody could be controlling it remotely, which is perfectly capable too. Romaine, thank you. I'll try to remember that. Let me make a note. Romaine, he's from France, I think people have stated. And the fact that I appreciate all the history that everybody's given me. Anyway, let me go back to the song, and then I'll go back to some of the comments you have made in the past.
Whoa, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Whoa, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
So, oh gosh, hopefully he's not starting a solo, and at least I didn't stop it. Real quick, even though this is done live, again, could be in post that they edited this, but even if not, because somebody did ask me this in one of the questions, in regards to his editing or mastering, whether it be done live or not. And if it's done properly, you can go ahead and pre-configure all of this. So they could have sat down. I'm sure this took many of takes like 74 did. And Ren would take the time to go through and ensure that everything is panned in the right location, that they all have been properly normalized, so not one instrument's louder than the other. And I can actually hear in my left ear, not Rowan's or Romaine's. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. But, okay. And the other one is I don't want to pronounce their name wrong. Goran? Yeah. His voice is in the left ear. The other thing I'll mention while I'm on this particular screen is that you'll notice Romaine and and Goran are using most likely Shure SM58s. Those are common microphones that are used in live studios, a lot of the time live performances. because they are a condenser microphone. But what's interesting is that they actually do reject a lot of background sound. Ren is using his standard SM7B, I'm sorry. And I meant to give some examples in the last video live stream about that, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I just wanted to point some of those things out too. Sorry, thank you for your patience.
Englishman in New York.
Ooh. Ah. I love the bass line that he had going in the back end on top of his solo. That was awesome.
Manners maketh man, some might say. Someone say he's a hero of the day. Hero of the day. Taste of man, suffer ignorance and smile. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Takes more than combat gear to make a man. Make a man. Takes more than a license to a gun. License to a gun. Befriend your enemies, confront them when you can. A gentleman must walk but never run. Whoa, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Whoa, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Oh. So real quick, that might not seem like a lot, but what he just did there is that okay, so he's really only hitting 2, maybe 3 strings. But what he's using is his index finger and his pinky actually to mute the rest of them. So it gives he's able to do the entire strum, so that way you kind of get the as he's going through it. That's the best sound I can make for that. But it's not an easy thing to do because, first off, especially when somebody's learning or is an experienced guitarist, just being able to properly mash the appropriate pressure of the strings in between the frets is difficult enough. And being able to strum, apply pressure, and mute with your other fingers is also, it can be very difficult. You'll notice that with a lot of blues players will do that as well. So in any case, I kind of went back just so you can hear it again. If you probably already know all these. Yeah.
Be yourself, no matter what they say. 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 Whoa, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Whoa, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Oh, that was a great song to get started with. Thank you. I mentioned a lot of things. There was one other thing I wanted to mention. Obviously we know that this is done in multiple takes, but previously when I paused it, I actually had it on a shot that had the camera in view. Not that it's a big deal. In any case, what a thank you. This was an awesome song to get started with. I noticed in the chats, I'm trying to pay attention and also pay attention to chat so I don't miss anything. I thank you everyone who is here. And for anybody who's leaving, I hope you have a good rest of the day, evening, morning. I don't know. But I wish the best. I appreciate you even stopping by. All right. Okay. So real quick, I meant to do this last time, and I don't want to be boring, but hopefully somewhat informative, because I've talked about the Shure SM7B previously, the one that's on the screen with Ren. Again, it is not a vocal microphone. So as I've repeatedly said, the amount of dynamics that he gets out of his voice from using that microphone is massively impressive. The Shure SM58's perfectly fine. Those are used for vocals and even guitar, or actually most instruments. So I won't go in too much because I do kind of geek out on this stuff too. Most singers, and I'd mentioned this in a previous video when I gave the roll-off and the dynamic roll-off that you see on an SM7B versus a Neumann U87. So Neumann U87s have been around for decades. They, at one time, and still today are still considered somewhat of a pinnacle of vocal microphones and instruments, but they're so sensitive, they're really great for vocals. Same thing with like a Neumann TL103. This is another microphone that, make sure I'm not blocking something. This microphone is used a lot. It is also a condenser microphone. What he's using is a dynamic microphone. So dynamic microphones, again, are meant to pinpoint voice or an instrument sound and reflect everything else around it. I use and it's got a sock on it, but this, and it's blurry, but this is a Sennheiser MK416. It's not used for music. Its primary purpose, sorry, I'm trying not to make any noise here. There we go. Its primary purpose is for voice. You actually see these all the time. They're used in movies. So they are what's called a shotgun microphone, and it's got a very, very small capsule. So it's not good for collecting music. The reason like a TLM or, again, bear with me to geek out momentarily. I have too many microphones. This is a Warm 47 Junior. This is somewhat of a replica, but it's also, and I wish I could show this, and I'll prepare next time. But microphones like these, unlike what he's using, have a large diaphragm. So the sole purpose of that diaphragm is to be able to capture all the sound that it can. You also have to be in extremely quiet environments because it will pick up everything. So in a vocal booth, or if you happen to be in a studio, they typically have all that properly treated. So using a large dynamic microphone and a large capsule microphone is what really gives that full dynamic range. So when people are singing and even talking, that you get that. Another one I have several microphones. Don't ask. I'll explain later. This is a Electro Voice RE320. You've probably seen these along with the Shure SM7Bs. This is black. The RE320s are black. The RE20 are gray. So if you ever watch podcasters, newscasters, they will use that as well. This is not a instrument microphone. The RE320, they actually turned it in to make it one. They have a bass roll-off, so some people will use this for their bass and kick drums. I think I have one more to show you. I have several. I don't want to be too boring because this isn't about Ren yet. This is a Mini K87, which is basically I wouldn't call it an upgraded. It's a variation of a Neumann U87. It is a large capsule diaphragm as well, again, for capturing music and everything. So I've gone off on a tangent, but I briefly wanted to mention the reason that I show you all of these things. I've got more, but I don't want to be too boring. The reason I show you all these is because every microphone has a purpose, typically. So this is one of the reasons why I'm kind of so astonished at Ren's choice of microphones and how much dynamic sound he gets out of it. it's impressive. It could, like I said, when you're trying to go through and master and edit his music, it can take quite a lot of time because you basically have to recreate those dynamic sounds and those high end. We're talking 50,000 hertz or 15,000 hertz and higher to give us the high end sounds, and that's typically where like a Shure SM7B will roll off, or an RE20 or an RE320. So I'm sorry to go on. I wanted to kind of give some context as to why I constantly talk about his microphone, and that's why. And yeah. Okay, that was enough. So hopefully it was somewhat interesting.